Welcome back to another video. Today we will discuss about what is web application architecture. So a web application typically follow three tiers. Web application follow three tiers. First tier consists of presentation layer, which is the case of web application include not only the web browser but also the web server. Finally, the second tier is the application layer, and the third tier is the provide the second tier with the data that it's needed. Typically, web application will be collect data from the user, send request the web server, run the request server program, package up the data, be present in the web browser. We will discuss in collecting the data. First step is collecting the data. The first step of the web application usually involve the collecting some kind of data from the user using a simple HTML form. The user will type some information into some form field, and the information will be taken to the web server for the being processed, and finally the result will be sent back to the user. This approach reduces the volume of the network traffic to measure the extent, sending the web server a request in order of the web server to spring into the action and execute a server program. The web browser need to package up the server data and need a HTTP request to the web server. The HTTP is the standard protocol based on the request and the response. It was originally meant for the service static information. In this paradigm, client applications such as the web browser send the applications such as web browser and send to the request server such as web server. The get request. Here are some different requests: get request, post request. The get request method is the simple and the most frequent used request method for accessing static resources such as HTML document, image, etc. The post request method is normally being used to access dynamic resources. Post requests are meant to transmit information that is request dependent and are used when we need to send large amount of complex information to the web server. There are certain different between get and post request. With the get request, the request parameters are the transmit as the query string append to the request URL. In the case of post request, the request parameters are the transmit within the bodies of the request. These two method requests send to the be independents. Here HTTP response. For the HTTP response from a web browser, the web browser responds with the status of the responsible and some meta information describing the response. All these are the part of the response header. Executing the server script or program script. Returning the result to the browser. Server side web browser. So we will discuss application in this. We will discuss server side web program. A server side web program has some important assumption from the regular program. To make a program accessible to the web server, it must be possess the following categories. When the user uses a request from the web browser, the web server has to be able to locate and execute the request program. There must be a way in which the web server passes any form data in the program. Once the program is invoked, there has to be standard entity points. After the program has processed the input data, it has packaged up the result and sent them back to the web server. The web server, the exact divisions of the responsibilities may vary for the different web server, but all the web server just talk HTTP. Thank you so much.